My husband accuses me of cheating every single day, despite my loyalty and the fact that he was the one who had an affair 10 years ago, and now I feel like I can't take it anymore. Posted by u/ecstaticwest3219. Background: I, 35F, have been married to my husband, 48M, for almost 13 years, and we have 3 children together. He has been constantly accusing me of cheating, sometimes weekly, sometimes daily, throughout our entire marriage. This specific incident happened a few hours ago. He asked me when the last time we were intimate was. I said, probably like 2 or 3 days ago, because, in my mind, that's our norm most of the time. Well, that was a huge mistake on my part because he said the last time was actually 12 days ago. I tried to remember whether he was correct, but I couldn't, so I just said, "Oh, okay, I'm not sure." Then, he started speaking aggressively, saying that was proof I had cheated and asking where I was on Friday, since I had an outing, though I'm usually always home. At first, I tried to reassure him and calmly explain that it wasn't true and that he should believe me. But then I remembered that he had a 2-year affair, mind you, 10 years ago, and never apologized for it. That's when I got pissed and started crying, which is unusual for me, saying, "Every day, you accuse me of something that only you've done in this marriage, and you've never apologized for it." He looked at me with disgust and said he's not going to apologize, that I'm mentally ill, and that he should have never married me. I just want to know if I'm crazy or not. Is this all in my head, or what? Because I don't think I'm overreacting. He is known to revise the truth at any given moment, so I could be correct, and he's just gaslighting me into this whole argument for his own twisted reasons. To be honest, I've been thinking about leaving for a long time, and the tears were about the thought of the relationship ending because the constant accusations, and worse, are draining, to say the least. Relevant comments. Commenter: have you tried couples therapy with your husband? Ops response: yes, we tried it. On the first visit, when the counselor repeated almost word for word what I had said needed to be worked on, we never went back. The counselor was a man, I might add, because he didn't want to go to a woman, saying, and I quote, "She would side with me because she's a woman." Commenter 2: he treats you so horrible. Why haven't you divorced him already? Ops response: I so desperately wanted my kids to be raised in a 2-parent home, so I didn't want to be selfish with my feelings and break up their family. But I have since graduated from that delusion and realized it is better to be from a broken home than to live in one. So yeah, I've got to figure out my next steps. Oh, I forgot to add that I'm not allowed to work. I haven't worked since we got married. He did let me go to school, though, but probably only because it made him look good. Commenter 3: what you've described here is an emotionally abusive relationship. I think you need to get out. If you believe he might react violently to you telling him you want a divorce, I recommend leaving the house first and going to a trusted friend or family member's place. How long did the two of you date before getting married? Marrying at 23 to a 35-year-old man, in my opinion, is not very age-appropriate and does not reflect well on your husband to begin with. Ops response: yup, I'm actually scared to tell him I want out. Since he overreacts regularly to the dumbest, simplest things, I don't want to imagine what he could or would do. And we dated for 8 months. Even at 26 to 27, I realized that it was not age-appropriate at all. But at 22, I thought I was an adult who knew exactly what I was doing. Plus, I was raised in an environment where girls/women married young and quickly. To be honest, now that I'm the age he was when he met me, I realize how much I was taken advantage of, and it's sad. Update 1 month 2 weeks later. First of all, I want to thank everyone for their replies and comments. I felt proper validation, which I haven't felt in years, and you all gave me confirmation that my viewpoint on the situation was, in fact, normal and that I wasn't the crazy one. I literally cried from the depths of my soul. Also, I have a confession: my first post doesn't actually capture how bad the relationship has been. That was just the tip of the iceberg. I have suffered horrible abuse over the last 12 to 13 years. Every single type of abuse, in fact. I have been isolated and controlled for years. I could not tell him no, and I did not have a voice. I actually needed confirmation that I was not crazy, along with some encouragement and validation, and thank you, everyone, because all of you gave me that. Some simple examples of the control, isolation, and abuse would be, if I was going to the grocery store, I would be timed, questioned, and interrogated after returning. I very, very rarely met or visited my family and friends because the trouble, arguments, and fights he would cause made me feel so bad that it discouraged me from reaching out to them or anyone again. I tried to start a YouTube channel, he would always interfere with my filming. I tried to get a job, he would prevent me from going to the interviews. He would take the car keys accidentally, disconnect the car battery, etc. I went to school and took out student loans. He took all the money. I'm still currently in school because I've had to drop classes due to his interference and sabotage. I would start doing homework, and all of a sudden, he had a Netflix series I had to watch with him, or he would start incessantly talking to me the moment I opened my laptop to start homework, or he would instigate a blowout argument the day I had a paper due. I could be sick as a dog or had just given birth, and he would still demand that I cook, clean, and serve him food. He sabotaged anything and everything I ever tried to do at every single turn. On a particular day, he spat on me, threw a jug of juice on me, and pummeled me to the ground because I told him that cursing out a pastor was wrong and that his behavior was disgusting. He did this in front of our children, and when they cried, begging him to stop, he yelled at them so ferociously that they stopped crying instantly and stood there in shock. That was the final straw for me. And these are just basic examples, there's so much more, and it's so much worse, but that was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. This was the incident that got the ball rolling for me. I moved all our documents out the next day. I got a storage unit 2 months later and started moving some things out slowly. And then, a month later, I left. So while filling up the storage unit was when I wrote the first post, I got discouraged and started having second thoughts. So it's only been 2 days since I left. Although I'm sad, I already feel lighter. My concern now is getting sole custody, and I might have to file for a restraining order because I highly doubt he is going to let me walk away that easily. So far, he's been texting and calling, which I have been ignoring for the most part. He spoke with the kids for 15 minutes and then asked them to give me the phone. He proceeded to start yelling, saying I'm leaving him for another man and that no man can be his children's stepdad, that he would go crazy, etc. That got me worried because he is creating false stories in his head, and I hope that doesn't cause him to act out or do something reckless. Another man is the absolute last thing on my mind. Dying alone sounds peaceful after everything I've been through, to be honest. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for reading my novel, lol. And thanks again for your support. You guys helped me gain a lot of confidence and gave me the confirmation I needed to keep moving forward with my plan. You guys are the best. Relevant comments. Commenter. This man is a prime example of the warning that the most dangerous time in an abusive relationship is when you're leaving. Based on Op's comments, he is so unhinged that I 100% would not be surprised if he tried to take her life. Especially with the whole, he proceeded to start yelling, saying I'm leaving him for another man, that no man can be his children's stepdad, and that he would go crazy, etc. He will feel justified in harming her because he believes she is the one who did him wrong and broke his heart. Or, if he doesn't harm her, down the road, if she starts dating someone, I could see him trying to harm the new guy because of the stepdad comment, or even his kids. And the whole he would go crazy thing is insane because, bro, read the room. Op seems well aware of how dangerous this could get and is being extremely careful. However, so many women feel this way but still have that pesky thought in the back of their mind, he would never actually unalive me because he loves me too much. No, darling. He doesn't love you. He loves controlling you. And now, that control is gone. If you thought you saw unhinged behavior while you were married/dating him, well, you ain't seen nothing yet. Unreasonable and irrational people are wildly unpredictable. They do not operate under the normal rules we do. Hell, they aren't even on the same plane as we are. She needs to take this extremely seriously and not let her guard down for a minute. This man is horrifyingly dangerous. I fear for her, a lot. Commenter 2. He also considers her and the kids his property. They belong to him. That's why it's unacceptable for her to leave, and he's so mad that another man could be involved. He doesn't want another man having his things. Things he owns don't leave, he decides when he's done with them.